Gobert behind. He's got to face them and go through them.
With the distance. Hill shoots, scores, against foul. Well, the Jazz seem to have recovered the last 8. Again, Gobert injured in the first 17 seconds of the game.
And you just saw George Hill on the bench with 2 fouls.
Hayward will fire and hit.
At some point here in the
off the Hill. Griffin on the switch. Johnson, much bigger and stronger than Reddick. Favors got the rebound. Good look for Hood. Ouch.
Listen.
Contested 3 ball. Hill. What a great pickup of this flush.
Unbelievable. It's a foul on Chris.
Chris Paul picks up his second personal foul of the basketball game. Second team foul against the Clippers. Approaching midway point of quarter number 3.
I think Hayward brought Hood up just to get the switch.
Here's Hill. Over Griffin. Nice follow by Hill.
What you don't know about George.
Withy the tip. No, Hayward goes to get it again.
That's a rebound the Clippers should have had.
The bounce to Hill, he scores, and he's fouled by Paul. And any point here could be the key point of the basketball game when all is said and done.
All the Jazz have done down the stretch was a lot of minutes here without a stoppage.
Jazz by 3. 2 all thrown away, picked up by Johnson. He'll lean, shoot, and score. 5-point lead. Joe Johnson has been a
miss. They want to get out in transition, play more in the open court, not allowing Utah to dictate.
Ingles on a kick. Hayward knocks it down from long range. The all-star Gordon Hayward. Long rebound to Mack. Getting up the floor. Hayward did not anticipate Paul. It's a blocking foul. Third personal on Chris Paul. He goes directly to the bench.
And I know he's frustrated because he set it up perfectly. He allowed Hayward to gather and turn. If you watch this, I mean, that's a tough call. I'm not sure about that one. You also could have called travel, but fortunate for the Jazz, so because that is his 3rd foul. And then remember, that'll also affect the issues that they just don't seem to be quite as intense, the Jazz here. They're kind of on their heels a little bit in game 2.
George Hill with a corner 3.
And as soon as we say that, they continue.
Lead in the shot clock makes the Jazz pay. 14 points, 9 assists for Paul. Hill trying to answer with a 3. He does. George Hill from deep.
Yeah, that's a huge shot, and we talked about it. It's been the great equalizer partner this first half. The 3-point shot. You see Chris Paul kind of falls asleep just a little bit, and Hill able to get into that, walk into that shot rhythm and knock down that triple. He literally just walked George Hill into, and they set a pick and cleared Griffin to the basket.
George Hill with a blow-by.
Missed all of game 2 and ruled out for game 3 yesterday. Beautiful cut by Hayward. Great feed by Diop.
Boris today that he's given Chris Paul an edge, and Chris is getting away from him before he can recover back. I don't know if he can continue to pick Chris Paul up full court.
So he's just beating him down the floor basically because he's covering so deep. Good roll for George Hill. He needs to bully around a little bit in game 2 to say the least. That's a good rebound snatched by Favors. It is Hill, the penetration, and drew the foul on Chris Paul.
I like George Hill's aggressiveness early. I think he realizes he's got to do a little bit more. In transition, he goes right by Boris Diop for the easy finish.
There is Hayward, has space for 3. His 3rd field goal here in this first quarter. And a timeout call.
Doc Rivers doesn't like exactly what you said, Adam. He has space. They're doing a good job getting him open with screens, and he's moving without the ball. There's nobody in the same area code. He's going to knock that down. He penetrates. DeAndre Jordan's man goes to help. DJ's wide open.
They post up Hayward on Paul. Tough shot for two. And what a start for Gordon Hayward.
Derek Favors with the left shoulder. Gets him open for a split second. This is just a mismatch. He's too big. As good a defender as CP3 is, creates a jump shot for himself.
Hayward slithering in. Jordan the rebound. Bad pass, and Ingles got in the lane. Hayward's over by the rim. Hill comes back the other way with the floater.
Ingles made the
1,810 days since the last playoff game in Salt Lake City. It is Hayward with 23 points in the first half. Hayward draws the foul on Chris Paul. That'll be the second on Paul with 2.2 remaining.
Well, they got the switch they wanted. They got Bahamute off him because George Hill came up and set the screen. I'm a little surprised CP reached in. Banging his right foot on the ground. He's walking gingerly right now. It's nothing but high pick and rolls for Chris Paul.
Remember, Tom Rinaldi told us Blake Griffin is out for the rest of this game with a bruised right toe. Hill with a very difficult take, and DeAndre Jordan was trying to block it.
High pick and roll. Talk about mid pick and rolls are high. This is an extremely high pick and roll, and they are just shredding the Utah defense.
Hill leads in and rattles home his third three. Jordan 135 blocks in the regular season to lead the club. Crawford again. Can't hit this time. Paul right in the thick of things against Ingles, and it'll go the other way to Utah. Chris Paul picks up his third.
He's got to be careful. He almost got a tech right there. He was really upset with the call.
He was kind of tiptoeing, and he was hoping to let it go out of bounds and hoping that the call would be Clipper ball, but he ended up committing that foul.
But he put his right shoulder into him and knocked him down. That's frowned upon.
Rebound. Hill was hit. Hayward has it. Hayward a big three. Way off target. Saved and bounced to Ingles. Hayward takes it inside. 11 seconds to go. A 2-point game. And
There's the shot. Little bit too quick. Good hustle play by Joe. Saves it. Ingles to Hayward.
Almost two up sometimes.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a steal. Ingles.
8 on 3 balls in the series, and he'd missed his first 2 shots. The turnover, that other miss, and he stepped up and shot that one like it was the opening shot of the season.
Late whistle. Called by Mark Davis for 11. And he shot that like he knew what he was doing. 11-10. Jazz lead by 1. Here's Ingles again. The Favors. Another assist for Ingles. Midway through quarter number 1. Energy-filled arena.
Here's that same Johnson on CP switch.
Bluff would be a goaltend.
Just got to come a little quicker.
Against Joe Johnson.
And he's been the hottest of all Clippers from deep.
Good job by Johnson using his length. Is that going to be a foul on Ingles or a foul on Paul?
I don't know yet.
It's on Chris Paul.
Look at that.
I'm not sure how that's a foul on Chris, but it is.
I'm not either.
Timeout's going to be taken. You knew at some point Jamal was going to take the lid off.
And you know, one of my keys, just look at
nice backdoor pass from Favors to Hill.
Just look at it, you know,
This is apt to go down to the final minute. Hill has it at distance. Hood. Nice job.
He's got a great mid-range game.
102. Clippers 94. DeAndre answers with 2.
You don't need to foul yet, but Chris going for a steal. Down 6. It was a 2-possession.
10 on the shot clock.
Certainly don't foul now.
He works on Bahamute. Loose ball foul. Going to be against the Clippers in the battle for the rebound.
minutes left in that game. And think about this. Chris Paul said it best. We let that game slip away. The Clippers had a 7-point lead with about 7 minutes remaining and couldn't close the deal as George Hill hits and he's fouled. And a chance at a three-point play as DeAndre Jordan fouls him on the shot.
Yeah, George comes off a little pick and roll, and DeAndre does the worst thing he can do. He doesn't get up and challenge the shot. He just kind of moves into him and gets into his lane. Broken court and just knocking down threes.
Hayward trying to answer. Comes up short. Gobert, offensive board. Kicks it out. Diaw will pull. Diaw hits him. Morris Diaw, who during the 1% for the game.
Well, if you like defense, this is the game for you right here. I mean, there's nobody getting any rhythm on the offensive end whatsoever.
That's going to be a foul on the Clippers. Chris Paul picks up the foul, Kevin.
Yeah, no, Chris Paul gets fouled. How about back in DeAndre Jordan? Right now, they're trying to find something. They gotta find a unit out there that gets into some cohesiveness and can move the ball.
Meanwhile, the Jazz getting some valuable rest time for Gordon Hayward and Gobert. We'll see if Gobert returns to the action. He was on a pretty strict limit of minutes. 6-point game, Utah with the ball, 16 on the shot clock. Inside Gobert, he is hacked hard by Chris Paul. Well, the Jazz navigated a perfect matchup inside, and Paul with the foul.
Yeah, they kind of started that offense by giving Joe Johnson the ball on the left box, and he wasn't out. He wasn't there to just
spins, gives it up, high pass deflected, and now Hill with 6 on the shot clock. Gets a screen, three-pointer is that for Hill. Kept alive, another offensive board. Joe Johnson for 3. Offense, Utah is up 5.
look at the effort. He's coming in there, Hayward tapping it out, Joe Johnson lining it up and knocking it down.
Points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's a lot to replace.
Absolutely, and not only that, inside presence of people who can post up for you, and then also shoot the 3-ball.
And now George Hill with a little payback.
Yeah, Chris is upset with himself because he knows that he definitely shouldn't have fouled him right there. Mainly because
and taking it.
That was a man on a mission right there. He was determined that he was going to score because of the foul at the other end.
Gobert. Good ball movement. Hill, the corner 3 on the way. And it's good.
Well, they caught him rotating. That time, Chris Paul left Hill in the corner to double down inside in the painted area. The distance is too great.
Gobert out top with 9 on the shot clock. Hayward. Missed the floater. Gobert with another board. And slams it home.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Kicks it out to Diaw with 7 on the shot clock. They got to go quick here. Hill just got it off and knocked it in.
First of all, a great save.
Last cut.
If anyone is taping this game, you know, just cut away the first 2 minutes and some odd seconds there, right?
And Hill snuck in there for the tip.
On that, because as soon as Gobert came to him, he saw Jordan was already down underneath in case he missed.
Backdoor cut, and George Hill with the layup.
Now, George Hill, very smart player. You got to pay attention to him now. He's one of these kind of guys that will take. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he's hot at his team for the way that they started this quarter. No doubt about that.
Hill with the foul line jumper. And the lead back up to 4.
Now you say, well, what's
this foul against Ingles? Nobody better than doing this and putting on the brakes and drawing the foul. This is the previous play.
Now, this is just a very smooth move. And then also, that's what we say, get up.
3:30 Eastern time on Sunday. Ball closes out nicely on George Hill. Hill gets loose. Gobert kept it alive. Great hustle by the Jazz. And the foul is going to go against Chris Paul, who couldn't get around Gobert.
Now, that was a terrific series for Gobert. He set a screen on one side of the lane, all right, right there. Now watch him, he comes, and he gets part of the ball, saves the ball, and now he sets another screen. All right, so that's what the coaching staff and all the players say about the way. Nato's only 6'1", and just think of how he's fighting Jordan underneath, and then Jordan made Beautiful pass.
Chris Paul has 23 points. Double team on Joe Johnson.
There's the rotator.
Hayward knocks down the three to make it an 8-point game.
Half a step late. But you like what you saw. They gambled. They took away the double on the right by making the correct pass. And Chris Paul was a half a step late. Main thing that we did in the first half, we kept our cool and we got back in it.
Felton being backed down by Johnson.
Nice.
Good feed inside by Johnson. Great distributor.
Beautiful pass.
Ingles on the baseline. Hood for three. Favors battling underneath. Got the rebound. Nato thought about it. Now fires. Great decision. There down the
There you
street.
go.
After the free throws by Bamute, it's back up to an 8-point lead. Ingles
Nice
fouled on the drive by Chris Paul. It's not a shooting, actually, not a shooting foul. That's just the...
Jordan just misjudged it, the release.
Hill off the favor screen, and George Hill makes it a double-digit lead up to 11.
One in lowest points scored against, 96 during the season. And then also they're number 2 in field goal percentage defensively. So this isn't out of the ordinary. They can make you look like an ugly game.
Clippers unable to play at their tempo. George Hill with a foul line jump shot. The franchise could look drastically different if they lose here today next year.
Oh, good
by Hill. Oh,
my.
Finished the layup.
That was his easiest shot of the series.
It's okay. Gordon Hayward had his back. And now the plenty of time. It can be done.
Now look, we come on, we almost saw that, you know, just a fantastic finish the other night by the Clippers.
Hayward missed the reverse and Favors with favor of the day here in Los Angeles. Not Gobert, but his understudy. Rudy Gobert on the bench watching Derek Favors do work in the paint. And field goal percentage during the regular season. Hayward guarded by Chris Paul. Strong drive, took the hit, and won.
See, he called for the ball on the left wing. He wanted the one-on-one because he had Paul. Once he gets by Paul, you have to rotate. You're going to see right here. See, right away Jordan comes over, but he pushes and gets the foul. And you're happy for Hayward because Hayward's had a very tough game today. Now, he's 6 for 16 from the floor, but he's been quiet.
Trying to close it out. They got 2 of their key veterans on the floor right now in Johnson and Hill.
Let's see if you just use it. Oh, wow, late. Paul was late getting it.
And Johnson fouled by Chris Paul. And that's going to send him to the free throw line. That's just Paul's second. 2010, a team that was too young, too inexperienced, too injured a season ago, has rallied on the road and done what only 20% of road teams have done historically in Game 7. And what of the future of Chris Paul and the Clippers? Let's go to Lisa courtside.
Thank you, Mark.